What's grinding, fam? It's your boy Johnny Gio. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Grounded Phoenix YouTube channel and podcast. Welcome to my video diary. This is where I put my shit on blast in hopes of sharing something that may help someone in one way or another. I'm driving home from dropping off my kids at school. We had our traditional Friday morning, which was hot chocolate and donuts. They really enjoy Friday mornings, so they were a little late, but it's all right. School's almost over. But this video is going to be pretty deep. We're going to be talking about a lot about my own personal stuff, and in particular why I believe this stuff is important to go through and to dig deep into to overcome our demons, to prevent, or to, I guess you would say, move forward with some things that may be hindering our growth as a person, and why I believe it could very much help somebody that's going through alcohol and drug addiction and even trauma, mental health as well. But I think with mental health, there's a lot of things that come into play that include professional help and medication, along with addiction. But I believe wholeheartedly, at least from my experiences, that it's very important to bring to light the shit that has been haunting us for a long time. And these are things that most of the time occur when we are children. And a lot of times we don't want to talk about these things because it's a very sensitive subject. A lot of times it's not pretty. A lot of times it brings back old emotions and regrets and anger, right? So there's this saying that goes, you can't, my bad, it goes, you don't need to fight. I'm sorry, I'm completely butchering this shit. You don't always need to fight something in order to defeat it. Let me repeat that. You don't always need to fight something in order to defeat it. Meaning, sometimes we just gotta accept what had happened and forgive and move forward with no grudges, with no victimized mentality. But how? How do we do that? Why would we want to do that? You see, in my opinion, let me just give you guys some background real quick. I was a blackout binge drinker, and I was that dude that always, for some reason, was either angry or really sad at the end of my night, and you mix cocaine in there, and it was a crazy one for sure. It got to the point where I didn't want to live in my own skin, you know? So every time I would drink, I would go on these rampages. And I think the reason for that is because I was sexually assaulted as a kid. I was suppressing that. I was just so angry that it happened once I was an adult and I realized what the fuck happened, because as a child, you have no idea what the fuck is going on. You know, your innocence, in essence, gets taken away, right? But that wasn't it. You know, I had never met my biological father. And that was another thing that was haunting me. And the fact that my parents, my mom and my stepdad, which I actually call him my dad now. So every time I say my dad, it's actually my stepdad. But, you know, he played a big role in my life. But because because he lied, or not him, I would say my mom. My mom didn't decide to tell me the truth until I was 12. I felt lied to. I had this victimized mindset, and I didn't trust or feel the same about him or even my brothers and sisters at that moment. Now I absolutely love them and care about them so much, but it was at that moment that I started to question how much love I had for them and how much love I had for myself. So when I drank, you know how when people say that when you drink, you black out, like you say what's really on your mind and you tap into this not giving a fuck attitude. Well, I would black out, and the times I would get really angry was because I think subconsciously I would go back in time unconsciously and replay that and feel dirty, or my mind would start bullying me, and I would unleash this dark energy that had absolutely nothing to do with anybody in front of me. It was all on the inside. And the times that I would get sad and depressed without, like I said again, anybody in front of me doing anything to me, was because I started thinking about the father I never met. How did I come to this conclusion? How did I say, hey, this was the reason why I felt this way? And that's simply this. Once I stopped drinking, I started realizing that feelings and thoughts were getting stronger because I was no longer able to suppress stuff, so things were coming to me. And I was like, whoa, the fuck? Holy shit, I started being conscious, not unconscious, conscious about my thoughts. And so I decided, I've always been a writer. I never did it for self-improvement. I did it more because I like to write. But I started writing, and I started writing letters, and I started writing about what had happened. And it wasn't easy, but I think that the more I brought light into this darkness, the more I started saying, okay, well, this happens, like, what can I do about it now? Like, what? There's a prayer, the Serenity Prayer. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with it, but if not, you know, it goes, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, but the wisdom to know the difference. And it was when I got sober, when I started accepting the things I could not change. And I started realizing and accepting the things that I could. You know, I had the courage to change them. So through the courage of writing things down and accepting and talking to my mom about my dad, and actually speaking up and going to my abusers, my assaulter, and telling him to his face that I forgive him. I actually did that. If you guys want me to do a video on, a detailed video on exactly what happened when I went to go do that, it was a trip. It was a wild experience for me, but it was very healing. I'll be happy to make a video on just that. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to make a video on that instance. But I did. I went to this person's house and I told him, hey, I know now what you did when I was 8 years old. But guess what? I forgive you. Because I don't know what he had gone through. I'm not saying what he did was all right. I'm saying that this person adopted this behavior more often than not because someone else did this to them, and probably in a worse situation. So in order for me to get over this, I did that. I wrote about it. I stopped drinking. And I felt so much better about myself, because as soon as I stopped fighting and there was no longer this friction between what had happened and what I wish never happened, there was no more internal turmoil. Now, I'm not gonna say that I feel absolutely fantastic all the time, or that sometimes these weird thoughts fucking come to my head and they don't still from time to time haunt me or affect my lifestyle. They do, but very little. Like I said, there was two forces. There was friction inside of me. And I think if you guys watch that video of when I stopped smoking weed, you'll know what type of thoughts I was having when I would smoke weed, and having these schizophrenic like thoughts. And it had to do with that. It had to do with that, you know. So I had to stop smoking weed. But let me just talk a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, guys. But let me just talk a little bit about how one can approach this. I don't want to say that you necessarily have to be completely sober, because I think everybody is different, and you know, someone who just has, you know, traumatic experiences may be okay with using alcohol or drugs, and you know, they just party and they're able to get on with their lives. But I do think that if you've been through anything similar to what I have, I think therapy is a great option. I've had one therapy session, but by that time I had already written down and written letters and spoken to people and made amends and accepted so many things that it helped. But it wasn't the like, oh my God, like I really needed to do that. But if you're somebody that can't seem to find the willingness or courage to do it on your own and write, and when I say writing, I don't, it's not structured, you know, like it's not an essay. It's very free. It's very abstract. It doesn't have to be a certain way. It can be phrases. You can even draw shit. The purpose of this is to bring out things that are in here and in here onto a piece of paper, acknowledge it, accept it, marinate and feel the feelings, go through them instead of suppressing them and building up this anger or sadness inside of you like I said, it can be in many ways. There's so many books out there too, that can help you, that actually have step-by-step guidance. And I think the 12 steps from Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous are extremely beneficial, and I think that they help you with that. They help you with that, and along with other things, establishing a connection and a relationship with a higher power, however that may look to you. But and I think that's why people with that go through that program reap the benefits of going internally, because they have a step-by-step guidelines on how to do it, you know. But if you're somebody that is you know, not too fond of it, or would rather not go that route, you can always, there's always other options. There's always other content creators. There's always other people that will guide you and help you to get there. I'm sorry guys, I'm reversing real quick. I'm about to fucking land this spaceship real quick. I was gonna say something right now that I completely fucking forgot, that I think it was extremely important in this video. Hold on real quick, let me turn off my car. There's many options, right? Writing, drawing, therapy, the 12 steps like I mentioned. How can this benefit your life? How can doing this benefit your life? Like, you look forward, you start looking at your life, you start acknowledging what you've been through, things have been done to you, things that you have done to other people maybe. You start accepting them, you start looking into them, and then you start to realize certain behaviors and why you are the way you are, right? Because these external things happen to us and get built up inside of us. Essentially, they become us. I don't know if you guys heard my stomach growl, but that shit growled. That shit was loud as fuck. You become your traumatic experience. You become the assault. You become the abandonment. You start reflecting behaviors that project what you went through. And how does that look like? It could be sex addiction. It could be not having trust in people. It could be abandonment issues, codependency, drug addiction, relying on substances to numb what you are going through or what you had been through in order to not face it, in order to not go through with it and feel what you need to feel to overcome it. What they call it liquid courage for. And once it's all over, you're weaker than before. That's from the Grouch. I don't know if you guys are familiar with underground hip hop, but the Grouch from the Living Legends. That's where I got that from. But anyways, this video is getting kind of long. My bad. I blanked out. I started going other places. I I hope I stuck to the subject. If you want me to make a video that talks about things in particular to what I mentioned right here, let me know so I could go into more detail. I kind of just freestyled this video, and I really wanted to talk about this, but I didn't have a specific structure. So let me know if you want me to go more in depth into a specific subject, because I can definitely do that. I just was kind of all over the place with it, and I'm seeing that it's already 20 minutes long, which is pretty long already. I don't want to keep the videos that long. So I hope this video helped you out. Let me know if you really want me to make another video, because I enjoy doing these raw in the car videos. I'm kind of happy that my dog fucked up my damn tripod. I will be making more videos inside the pad, interview videos, that is. I'm gonna have guests. I'm gonna start having guests again, and those are gonna be a little bit more professional. Of course, I'm gonna try to get a mic or better, for better audio quality. My phone is what I can do with right now, but I definitely want to get a mic for better audio quality while I'm in my car, so I could continue to do these videos that you guys seem to enjoy, that are much more organic, much more abstract, that don't have much structure to them. And so that way you guys can get to know my personality a little bit more without it being a little bit more structured and professional. I don't know. But yeah, I'm ranting now. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Take care of yourself. If no one has told you, that they love you, or you are important, and that you do matter, and you have so much potential to do and be whatever you want to be, as long as you set your mind to it, as long as your heart is in the right place, you can do it. So I'm here to remind you that you are worthy. And as long as you're putting in the hard work, it doesn't matter who notices or not. Just do that thing. Do the damn thing. And you got it. All right? So with that being said, thank you guys so much. Please share, like, subscribe if you find value in this content. Peace.